Yo, I go by Shadow Rockin' Profo One, and I represent Florida Gangs and the Knuckle Neck Tribe. I'm from San Francisco, born and raised, and live in San Francisco. The style of dance I do is breaking, aka b-boying or b-girling, aka breakdance, aka spin on your head. Yeah. Ooh, dancing. Okay, so before I started breaking, I was doing actually hip hop freestyle. In these parts, in the Bay Area, in the early '90s, we called it housing. Um, and I don't know why we called it housing. I guess because I don't know why. It was just something like so like Rich and Tone from and Fly and Super Dave from Housing Authority, they were called Housing Authority because we called it housing. But from what I knew, from what I like learned within the past few years is that in New York they call it hip hop freestyle. So it's basically based on a lot of the foundation hip hop dances, hip hop meaning like the social dances, and then they use that as a foundation, and then add freestyle with breaking and popping and locking in it, and that became hip hop freestyle. So that's the style I did. Housing was a West Coast version of. Oh damn, tight! Yeah, this is an audio bit, dog. Yeah, how long I've been dancing? I've been dancing for about since well when I first got introduced to breaking was 1983 from my cousin Raymond Alba. He was in a crew called Zero Gravity, and they were a crew from San Francisco and Richmond. And so that was the first time I actually touched it. Uh, I stopped for a long time because I was like 7. So I started again in 1991, and yeah, so almost about 30 years, almost 30 years.
Dang.
Yeah,
What does dance mean to you?
dance. Ooh. Dance ultimately is expression, through the physical body, right? And to rhythm. So, I mean, just like any other art, expression is the main thing that comes from like, inspiration or the soul, right? Inspiration being in spirit. That's the main thing that like, whatever you're feeling, you create from that feeling. And I think dance is that it's first and foremost expression, and that's art. You know what I mean? It's like, it can't be quantified as far as like like even though it's like it's going to be in the Olympics, and there's like it's a sport, even though there's athletic things that make like even now in dance competitions there's like they quantify things and that's how you win or lose, but ultimately it's still being an artist and expressing yourself.
Um, how has or does dance impact your life?
Oh man, changed it. Like I mean I don't open up about this too much, but when I was a kid, like elementary school to middle school, I was a very shy kid. Me and my brother were very shy. We were kind of like outcasts, and like I said earlier, like when it was out in the '80s, that's like I gravitated toward it, and then around like mid '80s, uh, like yeah, mid '80s, late '80s, I was kind of just like quiet dude. I didn't even realize I was that quiet until I started actually um
Putting yourself out there.
like even recently, like I've met people that I haven't seen in 30 years, and they're like, when you were a kid, you were super quiet. I was like, really? I didn't, I didn't look at myself that because I've been dancing for so long, and they just remember me as that quiet kid. So then when I started dancing, it kind of got me out of my shell. I got more like extroverted and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So it changed my life, like, and it kept me out of trouble. What kind of got me into trouble in certain ways, but like, generally it kept me out of jail, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, negative stuff, So it's kind of like it changed my life in that way, and like I'm still doing it today. You know what I mean? I'm 44 years old, and I'm still like trying to like learn how to like cricket and airflare. Like,
I guess that answers the next question of what has dance given you. But can you add more to what has dance given you?
Dance is well, on the self development tip, it's given me confidence. It's given me self awareness. It's given me uh definitely like even for my age, it's given me youth, right? um on just more like accolades, like I was able to travel to like 33 countries around the world, 100 cities around the world, and win like 2 world championships, so and have that experience. So back when I started, it was kind of like telling your mom like, hey, I want to be a professional yo-yo person. Back then, I mean, actually it could happen now, but back then in like 1991, yeah, right, like you're not, get out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to have all that, it's given me the world, literally. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Now that dance has given you that much, what have you given or contributed to dance?
That's a good question. What I like to believe I'm given, just inspiration, just to kind of follow your passions, follow your dreams, and kind of like be determined. You know what I mean? Like I try to show that. Like when I represent now, it's not even, as I was telling you earlier, it's not even about winning. It's about who can I inspire, who can like to like, because like I said, like when I started out this journey, it was kind of like it was for fun, it was for attention, and then it became a craft, and now it's become like like whatever you have a passion about, you can do it. You know what I mean? And there's still goals goals are that need to be met, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it and see where it goes. You know what I mean? And if I make the goals, dope. If I don't, dope. I'm still here. You know what I mean?
Can you share one moment from your dance life that is most impactful or influential to who you are today?
Ooh, damn, there's too many moments, man. Shit. How do I answer that question? Yeah, there's a lot of like, cause like, it's like, I'm like Madonna, man. I keep reinventing myself and shit. Like, I have like a lot of lives, and like a moment that was like, oh, like there's been many aha moments in my dance career. So I think for me, just like kind of like we'll just go more on a spiritual tip. I'll do that is when I joined Floor Gangs. At the time, this was 10 years ago already. At the time, I was like just chasing like this, like I need to keep being a world champion. And when I went to Korea and first met up with Physics and Born and Tino Rock and 91, um, I was still in that mindset, like, oh, I gotta be a world champion and stuff. And then we battled, and they didn't know who I was. At the time, Rob was really famous. He was like, oh, he knows rocking. Who's Profo? I don't know. I just know Rob Nasty. It was like that. And we were like the first Americans to go around South Korea. Like we went to Ulsan, Jinsan, Seoul, and Busan. And it was kind of like they didn't know who the fuck I was. And it was like, all right, whatever. So they felt bad for me, actually. And they're like, let's do this 4-on-4. So originally the crew, the team was Physics, Redfoot from Rivers, Naughty One from Max at the time, and then it was supposed to be Joe T. And then Joe T bailed out so I could just take his place, and because they felt bad for me. And I was like, all right, word. So then, like, because I was used to being in my former crew, I was used to being like, oh, we're world champions, and we can't lose, right? So then, when I got down with them, or like when I battled with them, we got to the finals, and the finals was fucking Wing. Hong Ten. Effie.
got paid in full, posse recruits me. Knew they were some millionaires, they ropes with Dookie. Every B man looking like touchy, he shoot me. You see, every time Rod didn't show, I get to record demos at attempts to blow. I wonder, could they tell? How did they know? 16 years later, here I go.
An octopus from fucking Jinjo. And it's like, so the pressure, I went to my old mentality of like, gotta win.
Yeah.
And whenever I did that, that's when I flop, right? So then like, and they're like, physics and them are like, go out first. I'm like, I go out first, I flopped. And then right after I flopped, physics flopped. Then after physics flopped, Naughty flopped. The only one that kept it clean in our side was Redfoot. He was just doing clean ass forward. And here's Pumpton destroying it. Here's Wing destroying it. I was like, my worst nightmares. And then right after the battle, we got second place, right? And I'm used, you know, when in my former crew, when we'd lose, it'd be like, it's your fault. It's like pointing fingers.
Yeah.
And I went to Naughty, he's like, and I apologized, right? I'm like, oh, sorry, it was my fault. He looked at me crazy, like,
damn.
What do you mean? We got second place, man. Like, he was happy. We got money to drink. I was like, what the? And I go to physics, and at 10 years ago, Born in physics.
They were like at the top, yeah.
Dude, Born was judging Tino and Ducky, right? And they were this is prime Korea time, and these are the prime dudes. And they're like, physics looking at me crazy, like, what are you talking about? Yeah, what the hell are you talking about? We're here. And then right after that battle, I remember Born went up to me, he was like, I want you to be in 4 games. I was like,
damn.
Didn't you see what just happened? I just started the fucking flop fest. And you want me down? I was like, no, you got an ill style. We like you.
Damn.
And then Redfoot took off his shirt right then and there. It's like, here.
Wow.
And I was like, and these are the top dudes at the time.
And they didn't even know who you were.
Yeah. And I'm like, the f***? And after that, that's when I learned, like, yo, like, I've been chasing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I even preach to the crew now. It's like, so there's a Korean word called jung, which means love or brotherhood or family. And that's actually when I started drinking, because I never drank before. They're like, soju time. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I started drinking. But
that's funny.
They showed me that it was about fam. They showed me it was about just really like being together and just like, comrades in arms.
Yeah.
And after that, that's when my career really shot off. Was that moment. I was 33, and I was considered late. You know what I mean? Because, like, everyone's career kind of starts at, like, when you get famous, whatever, it's like 21, 22. Yeah. And for me, I was 33, and that's when I got my worldwide because of those guys. Yeah. And my attitude changed. And once I stopped chasing the win, I kind of started winning. And I started to get known internationally. Like, in the Bay, they knew me as, like, oh, he's the OG, he owns judges. Yeah. But that was, like, when I got my international fame. And that's because just love.
That's tight.
It's just love. It's not even, like, about winning. And I was like, whoa. And and then all the accolades came after that. Yeah, it's like internationally. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, wow. Like, and that's why I try to preach to the crew. And, like, that's why it's like we're the biggest losers. But we make the biggest marks. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I told, Hijack, Art, like, Alex. And
it's kind of like that saying when people chase success.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, they're chasing the monetary.
Yep.
And not enjoying the rest of it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, and that's why it's like when you watch us, it's kind of like we have this chemistry. And it's funny because, like, if you go to our chat, it's like, oh, I miss you. I love you. I miss you. Like, really? It's like, like, I can't wait to see you guys. Like, this weekend, it's like, I can't wait to see you guys. It's like, and it's like, and me and Ajax worked on the crew for a while just to kind of like, and we built it slow. Yeah, yeah. And I even told the kids, I
was around when you guys first picked up Jeff and Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, I remember hanging around with you guys and, like, not gonna lie, even though I wasn't competing at the time, I was like, I would love to be a part of this.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. It's like we
and it wasn't even because of the name. It was just like the environment. Like what I forget. So there was some SAG jam that I was like, I went out to eat with you guys afterwards, and
Right.
you guys were talking crew stuff, and I was like, this is sick.
Yeah. And I got that from the Korean guys.
That's
you know what I mean? I got that from the Korean guys, and it's like, and it's like, and I told Jax, it's like, we're a slow burn. When people first got down in the crew, in the U.S. chapter, it's like, it's a slow burn. We're not, like, pretend that there's no one else in our crew, and we're a new crew, and we're just building the ground up. And, like, we're just going to support each other no matter what. And even with the crew, the way I run the crew, it's like, I have no expectations.
Yeah.
I literally have no expectations. And I think one of the things that helps with the crew is that I'm motivated. Like, I don't tell them to work out like me.
Yeah. They just do it.
But they watch me like, he's hella old. Like, they're like, he's hella old? What am I doing with my life? You know?
Right,
So I don't have to tell them what to do. You know
you're leading by example.
Exactly. Yeah,
dope.
Straight up. You know what I mean? And not just like nudge them. I don't nudge them. I just do my thing, and they're just like, fuck.
That's tough.
They'll watch me work, and they'll be like, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
still don't go like, you have to do this.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, we'll have a beer, whatever, man. It's cool. It's fam. You know what I mean? Like, don't even trip about it.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Do you dance for a living?
Yes, I dance for a living.
So the second part to that question is so how do you make a living?
Hustle, man, hustle. Instagram hustle. Yeah, no, really. It's funny because what I try to teach people, not so much in workshops. Why I do say this in workshops is that there's 3 things you need to be a professional dancer, or in breaking it anyway. Like, I don't know too much about it. Everything else. Number one is to be articulate, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't teach a workshop like, just go on your hand and spin. Like, you can't do that, right? So, because you need your students to understand what you're saying. And then 2, if you're judging, you have to be articulate.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why did he win? Well, I like that guy's shoes. Like, you have to explain why the one guy won or lost. You know what I mean? So that's number 1, articulation. 2 is that you're social. You could be social. Because you could be a shut-in and not say nothing, and they fly you out and you're just like, that guy's not fun.
Yeah. And
he's awkward.
Yeah.
Or if you're a diva, what did I say? Green M&M's only in my room. 4-star hotel. Like, the promoter's going to be like, I ain't flying that guy out again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you could be cool, have a drink, be social, be positive, be authentic.
Yeah.
Yo, I've heard, like, promoters go, I'm flying out that guy, but that guy hasn't done anything in a long time. So what? He's a cool dude. I'm going to fly him out. I have the budget. I'm going to fly him out. That right there proved my theory. You know what I mean? And this is a big jam. Someone who said that. So it's kind of like, so it's like being social. So articulation, social. 3rd is your dope. That's last. That's last. Because if you have that first, you might be a dick, and you might be dumb as can't explain shit.
Yeah.
So you have to have these things, and that way they want to be around you. It's just like, and I think that's anything in business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're a good guy, a good woman, it's just automatic. You're gonna, people are gravitated towards you. So it's like those things are really important as much as your skill set. You know what I mean? And if you love your skill set, that adds to it for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's one thing as far as making a living, and then that's the hustle. It's just like understanding windows. Like there's like right now, a lot of people are talking about dancing for exposure, right?
Yeah.
And I agree, but sometimes you do have to do favors for people because who's gonna be in the audience? Blah 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 blah. Here's a little like hack. Like if someone says that to you, right? Like, hey, they'll be like, we can't give you this much, but it'll give you exposure. Word, all right. Give me 5 of your contacts that you know is gonna be there.
Yeah.
Give them to me. Like literally, give me their number so I can contact them and hire them.
Yeah.
And so they can hire me instead of just like, and they'll be like, oh.
Instead of just going there to
show up. Like you have connections. You're talking about exposure.
Yeah.
That's a hustle. You know what I mean? And it's not saying in a dick way, but just like
understanding it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's a give and take, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna know. You're gonna know what speaks to you. And sometimes there's gigs that gotta pay a lot of money that you're not gonna want to do.
Yeah.
And you gotta listen to that too.
Yeah.
You can't just do it for the money. It's like, oh yeah, Pepsi wants to hire you. Oh word, all right, but you have to wear this G string. Okay, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, Some people do it, but then maybe that's what's talking to them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily talking to me, but might be talking to that person. So it's all good.
What are some things that you do outside of dance?
Nothing. Just dance. No, I work out, man. I think that's the thing that I've discovered in the last 3 years is that, and I should have been doing this in my 20s.
Your health.
Yeah, it's my health. And I didn't, because you learn later, but it's all good. You know what I mean? Like, I like the fact I wear my age on my sleeve. Like, I like putting it out there that I'm 44 and shit like that. And I'm doing, I'm going into I wouldn't say I'm going into the fitness game so much, but I'm touching it. You know what I mean? It's helped my business. You know what I mean? It's helped me get work, and it's helping, and it actually helps my creative side. Because the thing is with dance, what I notice, especially in my age, as you get older, your testosterone slows down, so you gain more, your metabolism slowed down. And so when I was breaking and only breaking, I was still gaining mad weight, and I was like, what the hell? Because my muscle memory is used to it. So once I started working out, it was kind of like it challenged my body. And then it started, and then I sweat more, whatever. By whatever challenging thing. So I do these workouts, which helps my health. I do intermittent fasting, which helps helps me keep lean. I mean, I could be leaner, in my opinion, because I still like eating donuts and still like drinking. But it's helped tremendously. Yeah. And at the same time, being an artist, I might get bored with the exercise. I'm going to try to create different exercises. And that's no one else, no other CrossFit guy could do because they can't break. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to do today some stuff. And these CrossFit people are like, I'm going to learn that because I'm going to try to do that now. You know what I mean? Like, you add one little thing, the challenge is like, well, I got my handstands, but I can't, what you call that, 1990? I'm going to learn that. You know what I mean? And then they get into it, and that's it's following like that kind of like creativity. Yeah. And that's one thing it's still art. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You're still creating. You know what I mean? What you're doing is creating, and it's just like that's the thing that I've been like I'm into meditation and all that type of stuff too. And I think that's one thing that I'm discovering that I knew intuitively. Now I'm like it's more present, and I have a relationship with inspiration. So it's kind of like when I talk, I try to talk in this, not being corny, but just, and it's different from motivation. Inspiration is just like I said, you're in spirit, and that's where you do create. And if you think I know this sounds super hippie, right? But inspiration works more than the mind. Because inspiration is like your mind and soul together, right? Wanting to express this thing. Like, for instance, like if I try to think of a law to help, like this was gonna help, like I don't know, Trump, right? Like, build a wall. It's gonna help the economy, whatever, right? Yeah, and that's an idea from the mind. But if you notice, things that are created from inspiration really brings peace. For instance, if a person makes a song, that song, a Muslim guy can listen to this song and be like, oh, I love this song. And a Jewish woman can listen to this song, I love this song. Boom, that's peace. So creativity, art actually creates peace more than the ideas of creating peace. Yeah. So if you follow that inspiration, that's what I'm saying. That's why that's why I'm doing this. Because it might not inspire you to dance, but it might inspire you to create. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. You should be inspired to run, not motivated to run. You should be inspired to do that shit. You're inspired to create this. Why? Because there's a void that you're going to fill up. Yeah. And you never know, because this video might inspire someone to write a book. Yeah. That might change some shit. Or write a song, whatever. Yeah. So that's where that speaks to me the loudest right there. Like, because how many are like, oh man, back in the day, like how old are you, 30? Like, well, I'm like 40. Like, So to me, that's my whole goal right now. Is anything from inspiration, anything I create is from inspiration. I know it sounds mad hippie, but
spread that.
Hell yeah, guaranteed, 100.
What is next for you in this dance life?
Ooh. Immediately, what's next for me is I got asked to do an exhibition battle against Seth from Circle Fire. Yeah, man. Oh! 21 years old. exhibition battle. And like, compared to Battle of the Gods, I know I've been giving A-game exhibitions. If I do good in this, I want to just throw out there, I'm the exhibition king, dog. Like, I just know how to do exhibitions, man. I think that's why people got turned on to me training them.
That's tight.
Because I knew how to, like, I know how to keep pace and even mental. I know what to do, like, and that's because my boy Greg, who does Muay Thai, it's like, I relate to boxing, like, kind of like, not everyone's Tyson.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Tyson was a knockout king.
Yeah.
Not that he didn't have technique.
Yeah.
But he's a knockout king. But once he went against Evander, he bit that fool's ear at the 11th, 12th round. I train people to be Evander. You know?
That's what's up.
Yeah, I train people to be a Holyfield. Like, there's ways, there's hacks that there's things I know about because I've done so many exhibitions. There's ways to rest where it doesn't look like you're resting.
Huh.
I won't reveal the secrets on camera.
That's tight.
Because it's kind of like in boxing, like, dude, Tyson had power for power. He had the peekaboo style, power for power, and he just knew his timing. But what if someone knows that? What are you gonna do? That means your stamina is gonna be good. You're gonna learn how to pepper your rounds, then do combos. So there's certain movements in breaking that are pepper, and you don't know that they're pepper, and then learn how to do your combos while you're peppering.
Damn.
Yeah, see, no one knows about that.
Crazy.
No one knows about that. And then if your stamina is good, okay, the best way I can say this, I don't reveal this in camera too much, whatever, but inspiration's talking. So it's kind of like, my philosophy is like, how can you be rock strike and machine at the same time?
Ooh.
Now you're getting it.
That's
Learning
crazy.
how to, like, do a long marathon with sprints in between.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah.
All right, so to close out, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Profo1, capital FLGZ. On Instagram @PROFO_FLGZ. Or you can hit my Gmail up, Profo1, PROFOWON @gmail.